Hi everybody, I'm Lauren Lee and I am a rep for Stonewall Kitchen with Ivystone, and we have Lisa here from Stonewall here to join us to talk to us about all the latest food trends. Well, I'd love to hear where you are finding all of the best information to figure out what the latest food trends are and what's going to emerge next in the marketplace.
Yeah, I love talking about food. Like, who doesn't love talking about food, right? So I work at Stonewall Kitchen. Before that, I worked in the candle industry. So whether it's candles or food, like, we really look to the consumer. We look to what is happening out in the marketplace. What is it that people are watching on TV? You know, what is it that's like attracting them to their local restaurants? Or what is it that's really bringing families together? So we look across a lot of different segments and demographics to see really what's exciting and what, what people want to not just complement, their table, but also complement their experience when they gather with others that they care about and love.
So can you expand on charcuterie and why you think it's become so prevalent in our society?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like charcuterie is an experiential way of snacking. It's elevated snacking. There's something for everybody, and it's easy. And people feel like they've left having a meal, right, without you slaving over the stove, and maybe that pairs nice with a glass of wine. So it's all about, again, the experience. It's bringing people into your home, offering them something that is perceived as elevated without slaving over hours of preparation and cooking and dishes. And people enjoy the conversation over charcuterie.
And would you say that charcuterie board trend goes hand in hand with the latest cocktail craze that we're seeing?
Oh, absolutely, right? Because who doesn't want to pair like a martini with a charcuterie board or a glass of wine with a really awesome cheese? So again, I think it lends to the fun of the food experience in your home.
Now that we're all picking back up and going back into the fast pace of life, what are you seeing in terms of trends of home cooking?
I feel like people are starting to explore different ways that they can expand on that skill. And the really cool thing is now the younger generation is getting exposed to cooking. And my kids are actually enjoying it, which is cool. So we've moved away from the chicken nuggets and the pizza, and we're actually having like some really cool dinner experiences as a family. And my daughter started baking. So I think, overall, it's bringing families together.
So sometimes we get boutique gift shop owners who might not necessarily be comfortable in the food buying arena. What would be your suggestion in getting them started?
Food has become very giftable if it's packaged the right way. And if it's presented as as an offering for either Christmas or Mother's Day or like Father's Day, you can do grilling sauces. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with food. And if you're a gift shop, there's absolutely a place for food on your shelf, because consumers will come in and they will think it's really cool to buy Dad a spatula for the grill with a barbecue bourbon grilling sauce. And if you're a retailer and you've never done food as a giftable item, I would challenge retailers to really think about how can you pair food with tabletop items that you already have in your store. How can you merchandise stories? How can you make a really cool pancake breakfast with a batter bowl, a whisk, and some pancake mix and like maple syrup? Or maybe you have a barbecue story. So you have like your spatula and your smash burger seasoning and some barbecue sauce. So there's ways to make gifting in food really fun, and not just fun for the person that's putting the gift together, but also fun for the person that's receiving it, and maybe you actually use that gift together. It's a couple's night and you're cooking at home together. So It all goes back to the trend of experiences. People are not spending as much money on things anymore unless those things can give them a really cool experience. And so when you're thinking about gifting with food in the retail space, how can you complement what you already have in your stories and add food to that? Because everyone loves food.
Exactly.
Right? And
who doesn't love
the heart
food?
is won over through the stomach.
So what would you recommend to retailers who have been in the food space for a while to up their game?
There's lots of ways to do that. So it's really looking at your current assortment and where can you elevate what it is that you offer. So there's lots of different categories out there, like baking mixes. Maybe you're not into baking mixes, but cornbread is a great addition to your grill sauces. So there's ways to expand upon what you currently offer. Just look for those ancillary items that can add and elevate the basket for the consumer. It's just really fun for me to see that we're not just going through the motions with food anymore. We're really expanding what we do with it and having fun with it.
Absolutely.